Hey, what's going on people? It's SGZ here from the SpartanGameZone, and in this video we'll be going over 10 of the most underrated legendary weapons in Borderlands 3. These are the guns that are sheltered from the sun, dealing damage in the shadows, but now it's time for them to be brought out into the light so people can realize how good they really are. I'll be telling you what makes each weapon so good, let you know where you can get it, and of course tell you who has an increased chance to drop it. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like, and if you find the content helpful or entertaining or both and you haven't subscribed, then doing so really helps out. Make sure to let me know in the comments if you know of any other underrated legendary weapons, and we might shine a light on them in a part 2, and let's crack into it. We open this countdown of the 10 most underrated weapons in Borderlands 3 with the Critical Thug, a powerful shotgun that only comes non-elemental and is exclusive to Arms Race, with an increased chance to drop from this chest. The Critical Thug in the right circumstances is a mobbing machine, combining heavy critical hit damage with ricocheting explosives. Landing a critical hit will cause the projectile to rebound into an unsuspecting enemy, not just dealing massive damage to the original target, but the bonus one too. It supports a massive 200% critical damage boost and will share that damage round whenever you land one. Its bullets are fired in a slight arc, which you need to be wary of, but a single well-placed shot can have devastating effects. There's a lot to like about it for every Vault Hunter, with its standard and 2x variant both serving well, and will do work when everything lines up. Now to the Miscreant, a Vladoff pistol which is exclusive to Bounty of Blood. It can come in all of the elements and can only be dropped by the Quartermaster, who you fight here in Bloodsun Canyon. The Miscreant is big booms in a small package. Why waste time? Shoot lock gun when few gun do trick. It fires mini rockets at a rapid pace which cause some serious headaches. Being made by Vladoff, it spawns with an underbarrel attachment which is always the twin barrel, doubling the projectile count at the cost of reduced accuracy. You want to have both barrels spinning up at all times, and while it is, make sure you're close to your enemies. It's capable of sending an unrelenting barrage of rockets from its barrel that'll blanket your enemies in a cloud of smoke, and it's a great choice pistol, especially for modes. Now for the Cheap Tips, a Hyperion weapon that can come in all elements including none at all, and belongs to the handsome Jackpot DLC, with an increased chance to drop from Jackpot in the VIP tower. The Cheap Tips is a gun that has way more damage potential than you think. Looking at the card, who would guess that, but it's in its unique effect where it all comes together. Shooting at your enemies will reveal their gambling addiction as they litter casino chips on the floor. Picking them up won't help you fill up your bank account, but fill up the damage meter, as each chip will increase its weapon damage for 12 seconds. When you've picked up enough, aside from having a sore back, you'll also be wielding a deadly weapon, much more powerful than people give it credit for. And it's best on characters like Zane, who can boost its fire rate and get chips dropping faster. Moving on now to the Mutant, a Jacob's assault rifle from DLC 2 that can only be dropped by Fungal Gorger, a rare enemy that you fight around here in the Cankerwood. The Mutant isn't your ordinary Jacob's assault rifle, although it still expends bullets. It fires an unwavering laser that, when combined with the Jacob's manufacturer trait, creates a surprisingly deadly weapon. Because its damage is constant, bullets don't ricochet on critical hits. Instead, a red hot laser will chain to a nearby enemy. It's quite like the Redistributor and Reflux in that regard, but the laser is incredibly powerful, holding enough energy to disintegrate whoever it touches. Its regular damage is more than good, with a great rate of fire, and its unique effect just adds more spice to the meatloaf. If you rock flak, you can get the most out of it, but everyone will be able to unearth some heavy damage here. Coming in hot, it's the Embers Purge, a searingly cool melee one weapon that can only come in fire and can only be obtained by completing Embers crew challenges through DLC 1. People should know by now that the Embers Purge is a great gun, but it's better than that. It's top tier. It's not the bullets that do the heavy lifting, but the lava puddle they summon. Shooting an enemy enough will have one magically appear at their feet, which will roast them like peanuts. The damage over time it provides is simply out of this world. Once it appears, it's goodbye stir fry to anyone standing in it, and it's able to mount away the competition in a flash. Because of its effect, the best variant is one with a large magazine size, enabling you to spawn more lava pools per magazine, and it counts as splash damage, making an action skill and splash damage anointment a must on people who can proc it. It really is an extraordinary weapon, one of the best exponents against flesh, and will burn enemies alive no matter their size. Time now for the Breath of the Dying, a corrosive only dual assault rifle that has an increased chance to drop from Blinding Banshee that you fight around here in Desolation's Edge. The Breath of the Dying is a legitimately powerful weapon even at face value. It fires at a rapid 10 plus rounds a second and deals over 20k damage per shot on Mayhem 10, which is fantastic. Maybe people get scared off by its corrosive stamp, but this gun will tear it up regardless, and that's not even to mention its unique effect. On kill, a shroud of corrosive orbs will sweep outwards and decimate anything they touch. They deal massive damage, which also counts as splash damage and makes it a real powerhouse while mobbing. It's just a lovely gun to handle, incredibly satisfying to use, and definitely should be shown more love. Moving on now to the Ripper, a unique SMG that can come in every element including non-elemental, and has an increased chance to drop from Shiv, the game's first boss, who you fight around here in Covenant Pass. The Ripper isn't just the title of the guy that wins a Beyblade tournament, it's also a wicked legendary weapon that provides a gameplay loop like no other gun can. It always comes equipped with a bayonet, but this one is out for blood. Every enemy you strike with it will bleed profusely, which just increases its hunger. Those enemies will be visibly hurt, indicated by a red glow, and when shot at by the Ripper, will receive twice the normal amount of damage for 5 seconds. It's a gameplay loop that provides some incredible damage, but it is quite slow going. However, you can speed it up with an action skill Start Stinger, which will inflict wounds on anyone caught in its Nova Blast. That saves you from the tiresome shank shoot repeat and makes it an even greater force. Up next is the Roizens Thorns, an explosive pistol which has an increased chance to drop from Tarantella II. You fight around here in the Splinterlands. The Roizens Thorns received a buff a while ago which somehow tucked it under the rug, but we've got the Hoover and we ain't gonna miss sucking it up. It's a Torgue pistol that looks damn fine, I have to say, flaunting the cover art camo and dealing the damage to go with it. Unlike most Torgue weapons, there's a stark difference in its sticky and impact modes. It's traditionally a corrosive weapon, but setting it to impact will have it fire 4 flaming rockets centered by a single corrosive projectile. That's definitely how you want to be using it, cementing itself as a powerful hand cannon that shines brightest on Moes, but all characters can get its impact mode doing work. Using stickies is still good, although it lacks the bonus projectiles, makes up for that with the sticky stack effect. If you're looking for the best variant, the main thing here is to avoid the double penetrating prefix, as it only affects the corrosive rounds. But overall, it's a gun that shouldn't be slept on, holding some fine explosive damage. Up next is the Aldridian, a Hyperion SMG that hardly gets any attention. It drops from DLC 2, Guns, Love and Tentacles, and it can come in all elements, dropping the fastest from Empowered Scholar. You fight around here in Dustbound Archives. The Aldridian, although it may look like it, is far from your standard submachine gun. It has a nice fire rate, handles great and deals good damage, but it's what comes out of the barrel that counts. It rotates through the elements, changing each time you reload. and that can be a blessing or a curse, but it is extremely effective at applying multiple status effects. On top of that, its weapon shield will also reduce any non-basic damage you receive by 20%, helping you to stay alive. The key to damage here is in getting the non-elemental version, as it has no effect on it other than massively boosting its DPS. Typically, elemental variants deal less damage, but this way we don't get the drop off while still coating our enemies with flavoured bullets. Number 1, we made it, claps all round, and it's the Craps, an explosive hand cannon from DLC 1 that has an increased chance to drop from Jackpot. Again, here you fight in the VIP tower. The Craps hasn't ever been in the limelight, but things are starting to change. You may call it the poor man's prompt critical, but I challenge you to rethink that notion. It fires a single explosive projectile which deals decent enough damage, but it's when that Justin Timberlake is joined by the other members of NSYNC where things begin to heat up. 5 rockets are fired for no extra cost every 5 or so shots and really raise its damage, but there's something else you can add. Combining it with an Infernal Wish shield will have the 5 turning into 10, and characters like Zane or Flak can even get it hitting 15. It's just incredible the amount of firepower it can unleash, and it's a potent weapon in that combination on absolutely everyone. Coming with the sticky mode gives it even more versatility, allowing you to stick an enormous number of explosives to your target that'll comfortably drain the health bar of bosses, and it's a gun that should be slept on no longer. So that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned of 10 of the most underrated legendary weapons in Borderlands 3, and let me know if there's any more out there. If you did, consider dropping a like or subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one.